The day I went to my future in-laws' house for the first time to introduce myself as their future daughter-in-law, I was incredibly nervous. As soon as I stepped inside the entrance, I was greeted by my future sister-in-law, Melissa. At first, she was all smiles, saying, "Nice to meet you," with a sweet demeanor. However, the moment my future husband, Adam, left the room, her attitude shifted drastically. "You should just leave," she coldly spat, splashing water at me. I was so shocked by her behavior that I couldn't say a word. My future in-laws, who were right there, said nothing. All they managed was a weak, "Oh, well, let's not make a fuss." Feeling humiliated, I stood up to deal with my soaking wet clothes, completely lost. Just then, the front door opened, and Melissa's husband, Ken, arrived, slightly late. "Hi, nice to meet you." I introduced myself weakly, pretending nothing had happened, but Ken looked surprised. "Wait a minute." At that moment, Melissa's face turned pale, her demeanor shifted, and the entire atmosphere changed. "My name is Lisa, and I'm 30 years old. Adam and I were introduced by mutual friends, and now we live a quiet life together. Though we haven't been blessed with children, I feel happy every day." My journey with Adam began several years ago. After graduating from vocational school, I worked in housekeeping services. I've always loved cooking and cleaning, and I'm proud to have helped so many families through my work. For example, I regularly assisted busy working couples by cleaning and preparing dinner, providing them with a relaxing home environment when they returned. For families with small children, I tidied their living spaces, giving overwhelmed parents a chance to breathe. And for elderly individuals living alone, I helped with daily shopping and meal preparation, ensuring they could maintain a safe and comfortable lifestyle. Through these experiences, I found deep fulfillment in improving the quality of life for others. One family I'll never forget was the Thompsons. One day, I received a call from the company I worked for about a new assignment, a large, luxurious home owned by a wealthy couple. When I arrived, I was struck by the spacious yard and grand gate. However, parts of the house seemed neglected. "Hello, I'm Lisa. I'll be helping out from today," I greeted them. The husband, Mark Thompson, welcomed me warmly. "I'm Mark, and this is my wife, Amy. Thank you for coming. This house is far too big for us to handle on our own, so we're grateful for your help." Amy, though looking a bit tired, gave me a kind smile. I began by touring the house, deciding where to start. From the large living room windows, I noticed the garden. Though it needed care, it was home to beautiful flowers Amy had nurtured. "These flowers are lovely," I commented. "Thank you," she replied softly. "I've been taking care of them for years." I started cleaning, polishing windows, dusting furniture, and organizing their home. Mark and Amy often watched me work, occasionally chatting with me. "You're so skilled for someone so young. How did you get into this line of work?" Mark asked. "I've always loved cooking and cleaning since I was a child," I explained. "I wanted a career where I could help others." Mark nodded in approval, looking pleased. Over time, we grew closer. Between tasks, we would sit for tea and share stories. One day, Amy showed me their family photo album. "What a lovely family. Is this your son?" I asked. "Yes," she said. "He works for a big company and travels all over the world, so he doesn't come home often. Right now, I think he's in, well, I forget which country." Though they spoke proudly of their son's success, a hint of sadness lingered. "It sounds like you're very proud of him." "We are," Mark said, "but we miss him a lot. When he comes home, it's the highlight of our year." Their longing for their son touched me deeply. I found myself wishing for his return, too. One day, Mark asked for a special favor. "Lisa, could you help me with something? Today is Amy's birthday." Honored, I prepared a special meal for her 77th birthday, complete with her favorite Japanese dishes and a homemade cake. When I served it, Amy's eyes welled with tears. "This is the most wonderful birthday I've had in years. Thank you so much, Lisa," she said, her words deeply moving me. But time is relentless. One day, when I arrived at the Thompson house, I noticed a black ribbon on the front door. A terrible sense of dread washed over me as Amy greeted me with red, tear-streaked eyes. "I'm sorry I didn't contact you, Lisa, but Mark passed away yesterday," she said, her voice breaking. Her words hit me like a ton of bricks. Mark, who always greeted me with a warm smile, was gone. A painful tightness gripped my chest. From that day on, Amy's demeanor changed. She stopped tending to her beloved garden, and the once vibrant flowers began to wither. She would sit on the sofa, staring blankly, lost in grief. I tried everything to cheer her up, but the void in her heart remained. Even the meals I prepared would go untouched. "Lisa, I think it's time for me to prepare for my own departure," she said one day, her voice heavy with sorrow. Hearing her words, I couldn't hold back my tears. Every day, I searched for ways to lift her spirits. I took her on walks around the neighborhood, and with her son's permission, I even arranged small day trips for Amy to help lift her spirits. "Ever since you started visiting, my days have been so much brighter," she said one afternoon, her voice filled with gratitude. "I don't feel as lonely anymore. Thank you so much." Her words meant more to me than I could ever express. Just hearing her say thank you made everything worth it. However, only a few days after she shared those heartfelt words, Amy quietly passed away. For a while, I couldn't process the loss. The house, once filled with life and warmth, now felt vast and empty. Without Amy, it was as if all the color had drained away. I buried myself in work, using it as a way to numb the pain. My friends noticed the change in me, especially Emma, my close friend. "Lisa," she said one day, gently but firmly, "there's someone I really think you should meet. He's a great guy, just give it a try." After Amy's death, I hadn't been able to fill the hole in my heart. I went through the motions at work, but my passion was gone. Seeing me like this, Emma invited me to a dinner gathering. That night, for the first time in a long while, I dressed up a little and tried to push through my lingering sadness. When I walked into the restaurant, I saw Emma waving at me from across the room. Sitting next to her was a man I had never met before. "Lisa, come meet Adam," Emma said with a wide smile. "He's a really kind guy, and I think you two will get along great." Adam greeted me with a warm, gentle smile. As the night progressed, my nerves began to settle. During dinner, we talked about our work, hobbies, and families. Eventually, I shared my story about Amy. Before I realized it, I was crying. "I'm so sorry for bringing this up," I said, embarrassed. "It's okay," Adam replied, his voice soft and comforting. "Losing someone important is really hard." His warmth and understanding were like a balm to my soul. In that moment, I felt a weight lift off my heart. Adam listened quietly, his steady presence giving me a sense of comfort I hadn't realized I needed. After that night, Adam and I stayed in touch. We began meeting up regularly, grabbing meals, talking during breaks in our schedules, and simply enjoying each other's company. Spending time with Adam gradually filled the void in my heart. One evening, as we sat together at a quiet cafe, I found myself saying, "Adam, I feel so at peace when I'm with you. I want to be with you forever." Adam looked a little surprised, but then smiled gently. "I feel the same way, Lisa. You make my heart feel at ease. I want us to keep sharing these calm, peaceful days together." Tears filled my eyes, but this time, they were tears of joy. Being with Adam helped me rediscover my smile and my hope for the future. I felt certain that, no matter what challenges lay ahead, I could overcome them with Adam by my side. From that moment on, our days together felt like a dream. Each moment spent with Adam became a treasure. A few years later, we decided to get married. When the day finally came to meet Adam's parents, I was nervous. As we approached their front door, my hands trembled, but Adam gently squeezed my hand. "It's okay, Lisa," he said reassuringly. "My family is really nice." At the entrance, Adam's parents, Ryan and Sarah, greeted us warmly. "Nice to meet you. I'm Lisa," I said, trying to sound confident. "Thank you for having me today." "Hello, welcome. Please come in. We've been looking forward to meeting you," Sarah replied with a smile. "Make yourself at home." The atmosphere was friendly and inviting as they guided us into the living room. Sitting there was Adam's older sister, Melissa. Melissa greeted me with a dazzling smile. She was strikingly beautiful, with long, shiny black hair that gleamed in the sunlight and big, expressive eyes. Her cheerful personality instantly lit up the room. "Hi, I'm Melissa, Adam's sister. Thank you for coming today," she said warmly. "It's an honor to be here," I replied with a smile. At first, Melissa's friendliness put me at ease. We chatted easily about how Adam and I met, and the conversation flowed naturally. "So, how did you and Adam meet?" she asked. "We met through mutual friends," I explained. "From the first time I met him, I was drawn to his kind nature." "Oh, that's lovely to hear. Adam has always been such a kind soul. Ever since he was a child, he's still that way, so gentle and caring," Melissa said with a smile. Listening to stories about Adam's childhood made me happy. It was clear he had grown up surrounded by love and warmth. The evening felt perfect, until Adam stepped out of the room. "I'll be right back," he said, leaving to use the restroom. The moment he was gone, Melissa's expression changed. Her eyes turned cold, and her friendly smile disappeared. "Why would he be with someone like you?" she sneered. "You're just a maid, after all." I froze, unsure of how to respond. "You don't belong in this family," she continued, her words cutting like knives. "Anyone can do housework. You're just a laborer, nothing more." Her gaze swept over my outfit, and she scoffed. "And that outfit? It looks like something out of the 80s. How embarrassing to stand next to Adam looking like that." Tears stung my eyes, but I couldn't find the words to defend myself. "This is exactly why you'll never be more than just a maid," she said cruelly. Then, without warning, she grabbed a glass of water and threw it at me. The cold water splashed across my face and clothes, soaking me instantly. I gasped, the shock leaving me frozen in place. "Oh no, the floor is wet now," she said mockingly. "Why don't you go clean it up? After all, that's your job, isn't it?" Her mocking laughter echoed through the room. Adam's parents sat silently, their awkward attempts at diffusing the situation amounting to a week. Now, let's not make a fuss." When Adam returned, he immediately noticed the wet floor. "What happened here?" he asked, concerned. I forced a smile, trying to hide my tears. "Oh, it's nothing. I just had a little accident," I said, excusing myself to the kitchen to calm down. As I wiped my face, Adam appeared behind me. "Lisa, are you okay?" he asked softly. "Lisa, what happened?" Adam's voice was filled with concern as he stepped into the kitchen and saw my wet clothes. He grabbed a towel and gently began to dry my hair. Tears welled up in my eyes as I hesitated before answering. "It was Melissa. She threw water on me and she said I'm just a maid. She told me to clean up the mess." Adam's expression darkened immediately. Without hesitation, he strode back into the living room, his voice sharp and filled with anger. "Melissa, what did you do? Why would you treat Lisa like that?" Melissa crossed her arms, feigning innocence. "What? I was just asking her to do her job. Isn't she a housekeeper?" Adam's parents shifted uncomfortably in their seats, but didn't say a word. They avoided his gaze, their silence a tacit acceptance of Melissa's behavior. "Melissa, that's enough." Adam's voice rose, his frustration evident. "Lisa is not just a maid, she's my partner, and you owe her an apology." Melissa rolled her eyes, her tone dismissive. "Oh, come on, Adam, you're overreacting. Lisa needs to get used to our family dynamics." I stood frozen, watching the scene unfold. I couldn't understand why Adam's parents didn't step in to stop Melissa. That's when I realized Melissa had always been coddled. She was the special child, born prematurely, often sick as a child, and never held accountable for her actions. Their overprotectiveness had turned her into someone who believed she could do no wrong. The door suddenly opened, and a man's footsteps echoed in the hallway. A tall, well-dressed man entered the living room. "Sorry I'm late," he said, his deep voice carrying through the tension. "I just got back from my trip." Melissa's face lit up, her demeanor changing instantly. "Ken, you're home." The man, who I quickly realized was Melissa's husband, smiled warmly. "Hi, everyone, I'm Ken." Then his gaze shifted to me, and his smile faded into one of recognition. "Wait, are you Lisa?" I nodded, confused. "Yes, I'm Lisa. Nice to meet you." Ken's face brightened. "I can't believe it. My parents used to talk about you all the time. You helped my mom so much after my dad passed. She always said you were like family to her." Tears sprang to my eyes at his kind words. "I'm glad I could be there for her." Ken turned to Melissa, his expression now serious. "Melissa, what's going on? Why is Lisa soaking wet?" Melissa's face went pale. She stammered, I didn't mean to." Ken's gaze hardened. "You didn't mean to? Melissa, this is unacceptable. Lisa was a blessing to my family. She deserves respect, not whatever this is." I'm sorry," Melissa muttered, her voice shaky. "That's not good enough," Ken snapped. "You need to take responsibility for your actions. This behavior isn't okay." Melissa burst into tears. "I don't know why I acted that way," she admitted. I felt jealous. Lisa's worked so hard for everything she has, and I've always been taken care of. I felt useless and small compared to her, and I lashed out. "I'm sorry, Lisa." Her confession left the room in stunned silence. For the first time, Melissa's vulnerability shone through her polished exterior. "Melissa," I said softly, "thank you for apologizing. I hope this is the start of something better for you." Ken let out a sigh. "Melissa, none of that excuses what you did, but I'm glad you're starting to see things clearly. You need to make real changes." Melissa nodded, wiping her tears. "I will, I promise." The atmosphere was heavy as Adam gently took my hand. "Let's go, Lisa, we've had enough for today." As we left, Adam squeezed my hand tightly. "I'm so sorry, Lisa, I never thought Melissa would act like that." "It's okay, Adam, she has her own struggles to deal with. I just hope she grows from this." The drive home was quiet but comforting. We knew we would face any challenges together, no matter what. In the months that followed, Melissa's life took an unexpected turn. Her marriage to Ken unraveled as trust between them broke completely. They eventually decided to separate. Without Ken or her parents' constant support, Melissa faced the harsh reality of living on her own for the first time. She struggled but slowly began to grow. She got a job, learned to manage her finances, and discovered the strength she never knew she had. One day, months later, I ran into Melissa at a coffee shop. She looked different, still confident but with a newfound humility. "Lisa," she said softly, "it's been a while." "It has. How are you?" She hesitated. "I'm doing better. I've had a lot of time to think about what I did, and I want to say I'm truly sorry. I was wrong to treat you that way." Her sincerity surprised me. "I can see you're working on yourself, Melissa. That's what matters." Melissa smiled, a small, genuine smile. "Thank you." As for Ken, he moved on, focusing on his career and personal growth. Meanwhile, Adam and I continued building our life together. Despite everything, our bond only grew stronger. "I'm proud of you, Lisa," Adam said one evening. "Why?" "Because you stayed true to yourself. You're the strongest person I know." His words filled my heart with warmth. No matter what challenges came our way, I knew we could face them together, and for the first time in a long while, I felt at peace.